like, who do you think that you're representing the most? Officers or enlisted?
Enlisted. Yeah, it's going to be enlisted. We do have officer clients. I have a handful of officer clients. Earlier this year, we represented a very senior 06. I have a handful of 05 clients, an 04 client, and a couple of junior lieutenants. So we have those clients. Oftentimes what we see for the officer clients is not the court martial, but we'll see these GOMORs are huge. I can't underestimate how many GOMOR where these reprimands we're getting. And I'm seeing this now on a level I've never seen it in my entire career. And what we're seeing now is I'm seeing GOMORs for sex assault, which is nuts.
What's a GOMOR again for somebody who doesn't know?
GOMOR is a general officer memorandum of reprimand. All the services have it, but again, the Army, if we looked at how many, the utilization rate is like 90%. The Army loves the GOMOR. And so we had a client who was accused of sexual assault. And the sexual assault, once CID did the investigation, it was pretty apparent that the sexual assault had a lot of problems in terms of proving this case. The complainant, she was not credible. The story didn't add up. She had a motive to fabricate, and the case should have been, they should have not charged him, done nothing with it. But the Army being the Army, going back to these failures of leadership, they decided to give this E6 a general officer memorandum of reprimand for sexual assault. Now think about the absurdity of that on its face. It is, it's like, it starts off like, you are reprimanded with an exclamation. You sexually assaulted so-and-so. It's like, really, if you honestly believed a non-commissioned officer sexually assaulted one, how the hell are you dispelling this at a GOMOR? Like, if you honestly believe that happened, like if you truly believe from the JAG office, the leadership, the general officers, this is, again, an epic failure of leadership when this happens. If you believed a sexual assault occurred in the military, charge it. Like, that should be a court martial.
Yeah, I agree.
Without a doubt.
I agree.
On the other hand, if you don't believe it occurred, then no pros the case and let the kid move on. False accusations absolutely happen. But if you don't, you spend a year investigating it, you have all the lawyers looking at it. If you don't believe it occurred, have the huevos to say it didn't occur. Lift the flag and let the soldier move on. But what the Army is doing now is they want to CYA. And so what they're saying is, well, we're going to paper this and give you a general officer memorandum of reprimand for sex assault, which I've never seen in almost 20 years. But we're seeing them, I think we did 4 or 5 this year. And how the hell are you going to rebut that? Because you don't have a hearing, you don't have a trial, there's no rules of evidence. All you can do is they say, you sexually assaulted your fellow soldier. Here, in 7 days, go give me a rebuttal. Ben and I worked on it, and Ben took the lead on this. So a lot of these GOMORs, Ben takes the lead. So we started saying, okay, let's pretend like we're going to try this case. How would we try it? So Ben put together this, it was like, I think it was over 100 pages, the whole packet was, and submitted it up to the CG. And so you're talking a bound brief that we're going to be submitting up to the commanding general. And how the hell is an E6 going to do this on their own? I mean, this is probably 40, 50 hours. And so when we took this on, I have to look at the calendar and say, do I have bandwidth for this? Because this is probably, the hit time is 7 days, maybe 14 days. So if I'm in trial, these are cases I can't take. But if I've got some open space, we can do it. And so these rebuttal matters that we do, they start from a blank sheet of paper or a blank Word document. They're not templated, and they take a lot of time, and they can drive other investigations. But these are the cases we do a lot of these now, but I probably should charge more because the amount of work that goes into them, because they're not just templated. It can be 40, 50, 100 hours worth of work because we're doing an entire investigation, distilling that to a written document and sending it up to a commanding general to review. But that's what's happening. That's a huge trend we're seeing over the last 12 to 18 months in the Army.